Exercise is an integral part of managing your PCOS. And I think we've all heard that advice from one source or another at some point, but the statement alone doesn't really emphasize or capture how important exercise really is for managing your symptoms. In general, exercise does some pretty amazing things for human beings. It improves your mood, it reduces your stress levels, it moves your lymphatic fluid around in your lymphatic system, it reduces your risk for certain diseases, it reduces your risk of injury as you age, and ultimately, exercise just helps to increase the quality and longevity of the life that you live on planet Earth. But more specifically, this is how exercise benefits people with PCOS. Now, before I jump into the details, if you're new here, my name is Christine. I am a personal trainer for people with PCOS, and on this channel, we make content about fitness and healthy living with PCOS, both physically and mentally. So if that sounds interesting to you, hit the subscribe button and stick around because I will be making more content for you to help you. Now back to the video. A lot of the symptoms that we have arise from our PCOS is the intersection between the genetics for PCOS and the environment that our bodies are being exposed to. And that environment isn't just like literally what's externally, it's the things we put in our body, the quality of sleep we're getting, a lot of other things that I'm not going to list right now. If we look at the actual causes of PCOS, or the ones that we think we know now, exercise in the research has shown to be pretty beneficial for all of these causes. And there are some specific details around it, like the intensity of the exercise, the duration of the exercise, things like that. And we're not going to jump into those details in this video, but we are going to explore why exercise needs to be a part of how you're managing your PCOS. So let's reference back to those causes of PCOS that we've discovered. The most common cause of PCOS is insulin resistance, and it contributes to about 80% of the cases of PCOS that exist. If you're not completely sure what insulin resistance is or how it works, I did a video recently about how weight loss is not the cure for PCOS, and in there I do explain insulin resistance a bit. So if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and look at that video once you're done with this one. Now, exercise is super beneficial for insulin resistance. It helps us increase our insulin sensitivity, which helps our body better utilize the carbohydrates that we eat. That results in us producing less insulin, which results in less androgens, which results in less symptoms for you. But not only does exercise help with insulin-resistant type PCOS, it also helps with another common type of PCOS, which is PCOS that's induced by high levels of stress. Now, I'm not just talking emotional stress, although that definitely can contribute to it. This is physical stress, emotional stress, psychological stress, work stress, every bit of stress. You see, we all have different thresholds for how much stress our bodies can handle. I like to think of it as a glass of water, for example. Everyone's glass can be a different size, and the amount of stress that you put in fills the glass up to a certain level. It's normal to have stress in your life. Everyone has it, and it's impossible to live a stress-free life, although I wish that was possible. And your body can usually manage your glass of stress pretty well, even if it's full. The issue comes when that glass starts to overflow. So when the total amount of stress in your life becomes just too much. That's when you start to see chronically elevated cortisol levels, which can wreak all sorts of havoc on the body, including PCOS. Now, technically, exercise is a type of stress. But there's something called eustress and there's something called distress. Distress, I think we've all heard that word before, is not really good stress. Eustress, on the other hand, is a positive form of stress, and this is usually where exercise falls, as long as you're not over-exercising or pushing yourself way too hard. When following a good moderate intensity workout program that has built-in stress days and is built for your body and your goals and your needs, exercise can actually reduce your stress levels overall, resulting in improved moods, better quality of sleep, and just a general sense of calm. Now, overtraining is a thing that exists. You can overexercise, and that can also be a contributing factor to high levels of stress. But as long as you feel refreshed after your exercise, then you're doing a good amount and you're not pushing yourself too hard. And lastly, exercise can really help with your mental health. And that's something that we don't talk a lot about with PCOS. Now, your mental health might not directly be causing your symptoms, but it is something you have to live with on a day-to-day basis that greatly impacts the quality of life that you're living. And exercise can really help with that mental health. Each time that you do a workout, you are setting time aside for yourself, for your own needs, for your own well being, and you're challenging yourself to some degree. Challenge can seem scary sometimes, but really it just results in building confidence over time because you start to realize that you can do things that feel hard. And maybe it's not fun to do hard things all the time. There are days when you work out and you don't feel like it and you're not in the mood. But usually afterwards, you still feel a sense of accomplishment and you feel proud of yourself. So that is really great for your mental health. Not to mention endorphins and all of that good stuff that can heighten your mood and bring that sense of calm you were talking about earlier. I am personally a very anxious person, and exercise has played a huge role in my life for helping me manage that anxiety. And it's also really helped me build confidence and self esteem, which was not something that I had for a lot of my life. And I know that starting to exercise when it's not already a part of your life can feel kind of daunting. But if you just take baby steps like just signing up for the gym and going on the elliptical for like 10 minutes 2 times a week, or starting to take some walks and think about the types of exercise you'd like to try out. Baby steps are what add up to big lifestyle changes. And like I said, I know it can be overwhelming, but I absolutely believe in you and your ability to try something new, take something new into your life, especially something that will really benefit your health, both physically and mentally. And just to make it a little bit easier for you to start adding exercise into your life, I made a short workout program, full body, for you that you could do like 2 or 3 times a week just to start utilizing your body, utilizing those muscles, and reaping the benefits for your PCOS. Okay, so our first movement here is a bodyweight squat. So what you're going to do is you want to hinge at the hips and the knee. Keep the weight near your heels and try to keep your heels on the ground. Only go as low as you can comfortably. I can get a pretty good wide range of motion. If you can't, that's fine. Just stop at the point that is most comfortable for you as long as your heels still stay on the ground. You could add resistance to your squat by doing a shoulder rack. You could hold the weight down in front of you between your legs, letting your arms dangle, or you can do a goblet squat where you hold it right in front of your chest. And anything that weighs something can be your weight. So for the next movement, we have a Romanian deadlift. This is a hip hinging movement, so we're localizing the hinging at the hips, unlike the squat where we hinged at both the hips and the knees. So as you can see, you're bending forward, maintaining a straight back, keeping your legs mostly straight. It's okay to have a slight bend in them though. This is going to help us hit our glutes and our hamstrings. As you see here, you can add resistance by holding a weight in front of you. Try to squeeze your glutes at the top of the movement right here, and try to keep the weight over the center of your foot. Next, we have our old friend, the lunge. This movement is probably something you did in high school gym class, but yeah, you just step backwards. Try to keep your knees at 90 degrees. Always make sure your knee is over your foot. You don't want to step too far backwards. And you want to pull your body weight forward with that front foot if you can. If this challenges your balance, you could always lean on something if you want to. If you want to add resistance, you can hold weights on either side of you, or you can do a shoulder rack, which looks like this. Now for upper body, we're going to do some compound sets. The first compound set is going to be a curl into a side delt raise into a front delt raise. With the curl, we are hinging at the elbow. Then with the side raise, we're bringing the dumbbells straight out to the side of us. And for the front raise, we bring the dumbbells straight out to the front. Now when we say straight arms, we don't mean locked elbows, so it's okay to have a slight bend in them. The next compound set is a bent over row into a tricep extension into a rear delt fly, making sure to hit all of those upper body muscles. For the row, you're going to drive your elbows backwards, pinching between your shoulder blades. Then you'll extend your arms straight out for that tricep extension. Then you can relax your arms and go right into that rear delt fly. I really hope you liked that little full body workout I made, and if so, definitely drop a like on the video. What's nice about it is you could do this for 1 round if you only have a little bit of time, or you could do it for 2 or 3 rounds if you have some more. I'd also recommend that you do this 2 to 3 times a week, but if you're just starting to work out, 1 time a week is totally an accomplishment that's worth celebrating. And remember, there is a learning curve for everything, and you trying this is already making a difference in your life. All of the tiny actions that we take add up to the big changes that we make in our lives. So this first step is still a step in the right direction. So that's all for this video today, guys. I hope it was super helpful. But before you go, I want to know, do you already exercise? Has that been something you've been implementing for managing your PCOS? And if so, how do you feel? Have you been enjoying it? Do you feel good? Do you feel some of those positive effects? Let us know in the comments below so we can get to know you a little better. And I hope that you have a great rest of your day. See you next time.